The city of Benin, Nigeria, was a mix of old traditions and modern life. Ada was a famous wedding planner in the city. She was known for making beautiful weddings with amazing decorations, fancy receptions, and incredible venues. Ada's reputation was perfect, and she had a mysterious charm that made people trust her completely. They thought they were getting the best wedding experience ever. But Ada had some dark secrets, and those secrets were about to come out. Chika and Tond, a young couple from a modest background, always dreamed of having a big wedding. When they met Ada, they were impressed by her professionalism and grace. Ada promised them a wedding that would be unforgettable, one that everyone would talk about. But there was something about Ada that made them feel uneasy. As the wedding preparations continued, they started to feel strangely drawn to her, not realizing that the perfect wedding Ada was creating would come with a terrible price. On the wedding day, everything seemed perfect. The whole city of Benin was excited about the big event. Ada's team had transformed the venue into a beautiful paradise. Colorful flowers were everywhere, and the guests admired the elegant setup. Chika wore a beautiful gown, glowing with happiness, and Tond looked like a prince, his eyes filled with love for her. But something felt wrong. As Chika and Tond said their vows, Ada stood at the back of the room, watching them with a strange, intense look. It was like the air grew heavy, and a bad feeling settled over the couple. During the reception, guests noticed a growing tension between the newlyweds, though they tried to ignore it. Chika couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong, and it made her heart uneasy. After the wedding, things didn't go as Chika and Tond had expected. They moved into their new home, excited to begin their life together. But soon, problems began to appear. The love they once shared started to fade. Tond, who was always loving, became distant. He stopped showing affection, and simple acts of kindness felt forced. The joy they had was disappearing, and Chika knew something was wrong. Chika ignored the feeling at first, but when Tond started avoiding her and focusing only on work, she decided to confront him. What she didn't know was that Ada's curse had already started to affect them. The love they once had was turning into anger and resentment. Ada had placed a curse on their wedding, ensuring that every happy moment would fade into sadness. As Chika sat in their living room, she could feel the invisible weight of the curse pressing down on them. Tond's behavior grew stranger. He began staying out later, always busy with work. Chika, heartbroken and confused, turned to her friends and family for help, but they couldn't understand what was happening between her and Tond. Desperate, she finally decided to go back to Ada. She hadn't seen Ada much since the wedding. When Chika met Ada at her office, Ada remained calm and collected. Chika shared her concerns, but Ada just smiled and said, "It's just the honeymoon phase. Give it time. All marriages go through tough times." But Chika didn't believe her. Ada's perfect demeanor seemed too controlled, and Chika felt something dark hidden in Ada's eyes. It was clear Ada had something to do with the problems in her marriage. Determined to find the truth, Chika started investigating Ada's past. She reached out to other couples Ada had worked with, but most of them moved on quickly and only spoke vaguely about their weddings. Then Chika spoke to Iriti, a woman who had been a bridesmaid at several of Ada's weddings. Iriti told her a scary story. She said her own marriage fell apart just months after working with Ada. Iriti believed that Ada had caused the breakups. Iriti said, "She has a way of controlling people. Her weddings are cursed. Couples fall out of love and don't even know it until it's too late." Chika was shocked. This wasn't just bad luck, it was all part of Ada's plan. Chika had walked right into Ada's trap. Now that Chika knew the truth, she couldn't stop thinking about how to break the curse. She spent sleepless nights going through old records and talking to other couples who had worked with Ada. She even spoke to spiritual healers to understand how Ada's curse worked. As days passed, things between Chika and Tond got worse. They argued more, and the love between them seemed to fade away. Chika was desperate. One night, after another argument with Tond, she reached out to Iriti again. "There's a way to break the curse," Iriti said. "But it won't be easy. You'll have to confront Ada and get help from someone who can fight her power." Chika and Tond, now desperate to save their marriage, decide to confront Ada together. They arrived at Ada's office, where Ada greeted them with a cold smile. It felt like she had been expecting them. The conversation was intense. Chika accused Ada of ruining their love, but Ada remained calm. Ada said, "Your love was never meant to last. I just sped up what was already going to happen." The words hurt, but Chika and Ton didn't give up. They demanded a way to break the curse. Ada's smile faded, and she looked at them with a cold, threatening stare. "You want to break the bond one created? It will cost you more than you think." The only way to break the curse was through a powerful ritual. Chika and Ton had to prove their love and commitment to each other. They traveled to an ancient temple outside Benin, where a healer could perform a special ceremony. The night before the ritual, Chika and Ton talked for hours, remembering their dreams and the love they once shared. They realized they still loved each other deeply and had to fight for their relationship. The next day, the healer performed the ritual, chanting ancient prayers. The air in the temple grew heavy, but with each prayer, the curse weakened. The ritual was intense, and as the final chant was spoken, a burst of energy filled the temple. Chika and Ton felt peace wash over them. The curse was broken, and Ada's power over their love was gone. Exhausted but happy, Chika and Ton returned to Benin, their bond stronger than ever. They knew the road ahead wouldn't be easy, but they were ready to rebuild their relationship, free from Ada's curse. Ada, on the other hand, was defeated. Her web of lies had been unraveled, and for the first time, she felt the sting of failure. Chika and Ton's love story had come full circle. After everything they went through, they were stronger and more united than ever. They decided to renew their vows in a small, intimate ceremony surrounded by friends and family who supported them. Ada's name was no longer spoken in Benin. Her reign as the cursed wedding planner was over. And for Chika and Ton, a new chapter began, full of love, hope, and strength. If you like this video and you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Kindly hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell, like and share for more interesting story like this. Thank you for watching. See you in my next story.